Hello. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode from Golf Cart Garage, the Gearheads on Demand service. If y'all don't know who I am by now, you should. I'm Tim. I work for Golf Cart Garage. The Gearheads on Demand service that we offer is a service where you can call and schedule an appointment with me and talk to you about your golf cart issues and see if I may be able to help you. Might be able to steer you in the right direction, might be able to save you some money. You never know. Sometimes you just need to speak to somebody who may have seen it before and also can help you get the correct parts just to make sure. So if you're interested in that service, there's a link in the description, take you to the scheduling page, and you can schedule a time slot with me. If my time slots are taken too far out in advance for you, don't worry about it. We come here live every Tuesday and Thursday like we are right now. If you're watching me on Tuesday the 8th right now, like a lot of people in the room already, we are live. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to talk about some golf cart issues, I'm sure. Rock Dog, what's up, Rock Dog? Frying down here in Bradenton, Florida. Kirk says it's frying down there. It's pretty, we got rain. We were pretty hot. We were like close to frying here, but we finally got some rain. We got a little bit of rain coming in over the next few days. Kind of cooling things down, but as soon as it stops raining, it's just like a sauna. I mean, it just goes back to being hot again. Ricky Smith, what's up, Ricky? Thank you for coming by, man. Easy Mike to you, hello GDs. Lloyd Lou, hello Tim, sunny California. What's up, Lloyd Lou? Joe, what's going on, Joe? 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗀𝘆, what's up, man? Terry Gage from East Texas. What's up, Terry? How are you? Let me check Facebook. We're doing all right. We're rolling on both platforms. Everything looks good. I have good internet, but like some of you know, it has went down on me recently. So now we actually have a backup internet. So hopefully that won't happen anymore. But if it does, starts giving me too much trouble, I got a good backup now. Gary England, hey Gary, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to Golf Cart Garage. Welcome to the chat that we do twice a week. We come by here and talk about golf carts and anything else that is interesting. There's lots of interesting things that we can talk about. Let me run some social media links in case you want to see those on other platforms. I'm running those now. Easy Mike to you. Someone got my question running low air pressure. I got it right, huh, Joe? Yep. I don't know why I like to do that. I like to try to get people's names right. They're a little unusual, but yeah, I'm glad I got it right. There was the social media stuff. So I guess we'll get ready. Gene, hey Gene, look at Gene's avatar. He's got his hat on that he won. Everybody see Gene's avatar? He got his Golf Cart Garage hat on in there. MDJ65, hello from Texas. Where you at, MDJ? I'm a little bit familiar with Texas. What part of Texas? That's a big state. Let me check over here. If my executive producer is watching, let me know if Facebook is doing all right. San Angelo, Texas. All right, yeah, I haven't been down there very much. I'm more familiar with East Texas. Over there where Terry Gage is, I think I talked to him about that. Okay, let's get on to these regular questions. And I'll keep an eye on the chat too, on both platforms. Question number 1. We have an old, probably 2003 electric EZGO that runs perfectly for 10 years. However, it just recently, when we plug it in to our charger, the charger does not click on and hum. So it is not charging. We also plugged it into a second charger for the other EZGO that we have, and it also won't start charging. Is this a sign of the solenoid malfunctioning? What are your thoughts? If you tried 2 chargers already, 2 EZGO chargers, very unlikely that both of the chargers would have a problem. So that would tell me that it is either the connection point in the charger or maybe something's up with your batteries, because the most common thing that causes a charger not to come on is voltage is too low in your battery pack. So you may have to end up charging your batteries up individually or two at a time if you have a 12-volt charger, if this is a 36-volt EZGO, and get that voltage up enough to where your normal big charger will come on again, because it's very unlikely you use two chargers and they both were bad. So it's more likely that it's the connection point or the battery pack voltage itself. Nate Medlin, hey Tim, did you see the messages I sent last stream about my 90 EZGO rear differential axle oil type? I don't know, Nate. You might have to remind me. Did we answer the question, or did we just talk about it? Because in the rear end of an EZGO, there's actually many different oil types you could use. We've talked about that before. I don't know. Is that this episode? I think the title, but maybe next episode might be that exactly. But just about anything at Walmart that says gear oil, 80 W90 gear oil would be fine. 30 weight gear oil is fine. Anything that has the words gear oil on it would be fine, because we're talking about a very low speed rear end compared to an automobile or something. It's the most important thing, Nate, is just to make sure that it has some in there. It's the weight and everything is not as important as the fact that it just has some. Reggie Watson, what's up, Reggie? Florida today on a service call for Lowe's. Does Lowe's sell your carts, Reggie? Or you service what they sell over there at Lowe's? Because I saw what was it that they sell at Lowe's now? I looked at it the other day, but I can't think of what it was. I didn't think it was Candy America Tech. Bruce, what's going on, man? Michael Reynolds, what's up? Thanks again for the call yesterday. I spoke with Michael yesterday, sure did. Talked to him about some golf cart stuff. You are welcome. You're welcome to set up an appointment anytime you need to, Michael, at this point. And if you, like you said, like I say at the beginning, if you don't want to wait that long, because my call schedule gets booked out pretty far in advance, you're welcome to catch us here. We are here all the time. Let's see, Michael, no. Hey Tim, I got an 04 TXT cruising along at slow speeds. It acts like it cuts out, hesitates. Full speed seems okay. Have the 295cc. Michael, Michael, no, I'm talking to. Has anybody messed with the governor on that cart? That would be my first question. Coleman's, that's what it was, Terry. You're right. Yeah, it was Coleman stuff. Kevin Fry, hey Tim, first time watching your live. Hey Kevin, thanks for being here, Kevin Fry. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, man. You're welcome to come back anytime. Michael No says, not that I'm aware of on the governor, and I adjusted the valves to 0.004. Well, a lot of times governor adjustment gets out of control. That's why I don't want to say I don't recommend it. That's a little too harsh. But I want you to understand what can happen when someone adjusts the governor. And a lot of people, that's the first thing they want to do. Oh, I'm going to adjust my governor and make my cart faster. Well, what it does is it can cause your cart to run erratic at different speeds. Like it might make it faster, going wide open, but when you try to go slow, it can become erratic. Or when you try to go at a steady speed, it can be erratic. So you can go to Buggy's Gone Wild, Michael, if you're not familiar with what Buggy's Gone Wild is. It's a huge golf cart forum where a lot of people are involved. There's going to be a lot of content on governor adjustment under the EZGO section. So you might ought to look into that, because if you want to tackle this yourself, you might have to back off on the governor or tighten up on the governor. It could be that. Let's see, Nate Mellon says, okay, thank you, I'll rewatch the other videos. Yeah, I think the next episode, Nate, I think that's the title of the video. So if you had sent in a question, that may be where I got the title for the next episode from. Thursday's episode, I believe, is what oil type in the rear end. But the bottom line is that, of course, you want to use whatever the manual recommends. But like I said, it's anything that says gear oil on it's going to be fine. I can assure you that it would be fine. Let's see. Oh, I said it. Did you hear me? I said, let's see. My executive producer says all good on Facebook. Another question about a 36 volt 2000. This is from Jathan. DCS with 23-inch tires. This is a DCS with 23-inch tires. Last week I mentioned was falling on its face after about 2 miles, despite having brand new batteries. You suggested I try a new controller. I have an 𝗓𝗏𝗃 400 arriving tomorrow. I had taken out the new batteries and put them in a different cart while I had it grounded last week. Last night I put new batteries in it and wanted to test drive it before the new controller arrives, and it wouldn't move. The solenoid clicks. The battery showed 37 on the multimeter. Battery shows 37 on the multimeter. Any ideas? Is it possible that the old controller is still in it, just finally kicked the bucket? It is very possible, Jathan. It is very possible. I would not panic right now. I wouldn't panic. I'd wait till your new controller gets in and see what happens there, because it is very possible. Those stock DCS controllers, like I said, like I told you before, and like I've said on here, they've got to be some of the weakest ones out there. Coleman, yep, I believe someone told me that the Lowe's was Coleman. Thank you, Catherine. Okay. That was the next step, was the governor. Michael, no. Yeah, see, the governor, Michael, is responsible for making things smooth. And if your acceleration stuff is not smooth, that's the first thing that I go for. Let's see, Joe Beard on YouTube. Hey Tim, still working on my 92 Club Car 36, thinking not motor, only goes in reverse, but perhaps solenoid. No, although I replaced it. Can't find a clear way of checking solenoid out. If your car goes in reverse, it's not the solenoid. I can assure you, John. What did I call you, Joe? I meant John Beard. It's not the solenoid. The solenoid is just a switch. So if your car goes in reverse, it's not the solenoid. You got two main common areas that would cause your particular car, a 92 Club Car, to not go in one direction or the other. It's going to be either battery connections on your batteries, or the forward and reverse switch, because your forward and reverse switch is mechanical. There's lots of contacts there. So that's going to be the most likely reason that it will only go one direction. It's not going to be solenoid. William Rizzo, another hot day in the Villages, Florida. It is hot here too, William, this time of year. I mean, we're in the middle of August now, which it's hard to believe that we're that far into the year, but Ab, hello, fellow gearheads. Hey, Tim, what's up, Ab? Butch, hey, Tim, I have an EZGO TXT gasoline motor. When the cart sets for about a week, it's hard starting. The motor spins over for at least 30 seconds or more before it starts. Choking it doesn't seem to help. Sounds like you could be losing prime in your system there, Butch. What I would do, I would check. You know how the fuel pump system works on that car? You've got a line coming from your crankcase to the fuel pump. Then you've got a line leaving your fuel pump that pumps to the carburetor. Well, that line coming from your crankcase is the pump line. You know, that's the line that creates the pump. If you're sure your fuel pump is okay, because you've got to understand that fuel pump can get weak because they can get a little tear in the diaphragms inside there that pump. So if you think your fuel pump is fine, you might ought to look at some of your fuel lines. You're going to have 3 lines coming off of your fuel pump itself. You might ought to examine them. Make sure that you don't see any type of dry rotting or anything going on there. Lowe's sells our Candy Cruiser car. I do training and service calls for customers. Well, don't they sell, Reggie, don't they sell Coleman's too? That's what we were talking about. I didn't realize they sold Candy Cruisers. Okay. I have another DCS. This is Jathan on Facebook with a rebuilt motor. The cart has standard tires and brand new batteries. The cart flies at about 22 miles per hour for about 10 minutes. Then it falls on its face. Is it possible that this powerful motor is too strong for the crappy stock DCS controller? I don't know the year on the DCS, but it's roughly 2000 to 2007. Well, it's not going to be 2007. DCS is only going to be from 96 to about 99 is when you could have a DCS, somewhere in that range, 96 to 99. Anything over 99 is not going to be DCS anymore. I don't think I've ever seen a 2000 DCS. It's going to be a PDS by the time it gets to that. So if you're sure it's a DCS, then I would say you are absolutely correct that powerful motor, that more powerful motor, especially if we're talking 22 miles an hour, that's definitely more powerful than a stock DCS motor. So it is putting a strain on the regular DCS controller. Ricky Hall, what's up, Ricky Hall? I replaced the controller on my 2008 PDS with ALLTRAX. You helped me troubleshooting a few weeks ago on the phone. Great service. Thank you. Question, the controller and the heavy-duty solenoid is too big for the cover to fit. Yeah, that may be something I forgot to tell you, Ricky, is that when you do upgrade to an ALLTRAX or an 𝗲𝘂𝘃, your cover is not going to fit anymore. But it's not as, your cover on the new ALLTRAX or the new 𝗲𝘂𝘃 is not as important anymore because your new controllers are they're more water resistant and they're sealed and they're more waterproof. I think they're actually considered waterproof. So it's not as important to use that cover. And I understand that you gotta relocate your run toe switch. We may not have spoke about that. What I have done in the past is I've made a little bitty short L bracket out of a piece of aluminum, the aluminum that your battery racks, that your battery's sitting. No, that's steel on an EZGO. Anyway, get you a short piece of L aluminum and drill a hole in it and relocate that toe run switch. And don't worry about using the cover. You don't need near as much protection for that setup as you did for your old setup. Okay, Jason says he's sure it's a DCS. Okay, well, it's going to be somewhere between 96 and 99 then. They're all the same. All DCSs are the same. They just didn't, they had a short run. Training service calls. John Beard, thanks. Changed out F&R switch as well. Guess I need to go back and relook at battery wiring. Yep, that would be what I would be doing there, John. Coleman has a deal, Candy. Coleman sells the AGM batteries. Candy sells the lithium models. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Hey, Tim from Nashville, Keith. What's up, Keith? Good show. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Glad you're here. Okay, Ricky says it came with a solenoid bracket. Okay, that's cool. I didn't even realize that, Ricky, that it comes with a solenoid bracket. I guess they should, because they should have anticipated that you're going to have to relocate that solenoid and the toe run switch also. Just mentioned, I did install a new ALLTRAX controller for it. I thought I wired it properly, but when I press the accelerator, it doesn't move and solenoid doesn't click. Do I need to program the ALLTRAX before it is activated? I've not programmed it yet. Plan on doing that today. Well, you definitely need to go ahead and check the programming and make sure that it's set for your throttle input. You know, your throttle input is ITS on that DCS card. So you definitely need to go through and just check and make sure that it's set for ITS throttle input. Okay, I think we're only on number 2 over here. We better get moving. I have a 2013 RXV that keeps going through motor brakes. It is not dragging and burning it up. It just stops working after a few days. I've changed them out with Amazon purchased motor brakes now 3 times. It will function completely well at first, and then after a short time when I turn on the key and push the accelerator pedal, it will not move. So I bought a motor brake from you, part number so-and-so, Red Hawk. I want to install this one, but wanted to see if you have any ideas on anything that I should be checking out to see what is causing this to happen, or do you think it could just be the cheap aftermarket motor brakes that I have been using? Well, I do think that that could be it, because you're replacing the motor brake with an Amazon very, very inexpensive motor brake, and it works. It fixes your problem. And then you take off and everything's fine. You know, it wouldn't work before. So it obviously fixed your problem. They're just not lasting long. I would be suspicious of those. Let's just put it that way. I hope the one you got from us works out, and let us know. Let us know if it does. I'd like to hear about it. Coleman has a deal, Candy. Okay. William Rizzo, hey Tim, how difficult it is to do a front end alignment on a Yamaha QuietTech. I wish Quan was in here, because he could tell you exactly. Are you in here, Quan? Travis Lee, where you been, Travis? Good morning. Thank you for being here. What's going on, man? I wanted to tell you, Travis Lee, I got you remember when you told me about T-Mobile 5G home internet? You remember when you talked to me about that? Well, I'm almost sure it was you. I mean, I think I've got a pretty good memory. I think it was you I talked to about that. And it was not available in my area at the time when I talked to you. But recently, it became available. So now we are doing some testing. Not right today. I'm not on T-Mobile 5G home internet today. I'm on my regular internet. But my regular internet gave me some trouble, and it went down during one of my shows. So we had to look for a backup. Turns out it had become available. So I actually have T-Mobile 5G home internet as a backup internet now if my normal internet goes down. And so far, the testing is done really well. It's doing as good as my internet, and I have gig internet. I have a cable-based gig speed internet. But anyway, thanks for showing up, Travis. Punger ITS, the solenoid wouldn't even click on the DCS. That's what Jason says. I don't know what it would do if it was programmed for the wrong input, Jason. It would. It's very possible that it wouldn't click. So I would check just to make sure. That would be the main thing that you needed to check for. Number 3. My 95 electric club car doesn't work in reverse. Is it the forward and reverse switch? Well, I think it's a very similar question that what we were talking about to John. That may be John's question. No, his is older than that, I think. Yes, the answer would be very likely that it's in the forward and reverse switch, because that is the device that switches the direction of the car. So it's very likely that would be the answer. In that, you know, well, a lot of people are going to say, well, isn't that the device that is responsible for switching the direction of all golf carts? The answer is no, that's not. You know, the little push, any kind of golf cart with just the push button forward and reverse switch, where it's push button, all you're doing is you're telling the controller to switch polarity to the motor. You're making the controller do it. So that device is actually not responsible for switching directions if your cart has a run toe switch. The controller is. But if you have a mechanical forward and reverse switch, then that is the device. The controller is not responsible for switching polarity to the motor. That's what I mean by that. It can be confusing sometimes. Travis, you were in a car crash? Or, because I've noticed that neither you or your wife have been in here for a while. So it was you? The two that I can't find the serial numbers on these older cars. Let's see. I have 3 EZGOs right now. I can't find the serial number on 2 of them. I've gone online and looked inside the dash and passengers and driver's side. These are older cars. Any suggestions on to find the serial number? There's more traditional places. Can't find the serial numbers are on DCS cars. Well, it's not really the serial number that you need, Jathan. It's the manufacturer's code. So see if you can find that. It's very likely they could have had a body change and they didn't remove the plate. Travis says, yes, guy hit me at 115 miles an hour and died. Envy Nature Girl with you, or you were by yourself? Travis? Let's see, number 4. I have an EZGO TXT model having an issue with the controller going into thermal shutdown after riding for about 30 minutes or so. I've recently installed a lift and bigger tires, all new battery cables, new relay, verified all voltages are good, and when the cart stops, the cart will stop at about 30 minutes of riding, and I can let it sit for a minute and it will do fine again. Solenoid and controller are very hot to the touch when this happens. Do I need to upgrade the stock controller to fix this issue? And if so, what controller do you recommend? Thanks for any help. Travis says he was in his federal car. All right, well that's good, man. I'm glad she wasn't with you. I'm glad. Are you okay? Did you suffer any injuries? I mean, Kevin Fry. Okay, well let me get back to my question here from Aaron. The answer is yes. You need to upgrade your stock controller to fix this issue, because what you're describing is classic. You put a taller tire on your car, and it's putting more of a strain on your controller, and it's going into thermal shutdown. Your batteries still show good voltages. So, well, I am sorry to hear that, Travis. I'm glad that the rest of your family is fine. But I'm still sorry that it happened to you. We're glad you're here. We're glad you made it through. I have been wondering where you were. I have been wondering because it's been about probably 4 to 6 episodes that I haven't seen you or your wife. So I'm very sorry. Everybody wish Travis give him some prayers and some thumbs up and some get well soons, and because he's been a good supporter of the show, of the episodes. I've even talked to him on the phone about my internet before, and I appreciate him and his wife, Envy Nature Girl. You must have happened, Travis, right about the time when I actually featured Envy Nature Girl's cart on the show, and she wasn't here, but she was the only one that I had loaded up into OBS, so I had to go ahead and feature it, even though she wasn't in a room. So I didn't know if she ever saw that or not, but I did feature her gym car. Go run switch. Let's see, what was number 3? Yeah. Okay, number 4. Okay, that's what we just answered about the controller going into thermal shutdown. That's very likely what that is. Number 5. Travis says she's been taking care of me. All right, cool. Tell her I said hello, and I understand. I understand y'all not being here now. I hope whenever you do get recovered enough, y'all can join us again. But I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're getting better. Batteries are fully charged. I put the cart in forward. It jumped about 2 feet. So I put it in reverse, and it did the same. Now the cart won't run at all. When I put it in reverse, it beeps as it should, but won't move. Well, I can tell you what's happened to me before. That exact symptom has happened to me before in a cart. And turns out what I did, for some reason, is it popped the solenoid. The solenoid kind of must have jammed or something at one point, and it caused the cart to jerk. And as soon as it did that, I had nothing. So that would probably be the first thing that I would be checking on, that is the solenoid, to make sure the solenoid didn't get welded shut. Because that does sound exactly like what has happened to me before. This next question is from Merrill. 99 EZGO TXT is completely stock, but rides very harshly over bumps. and potholes on the golf course. Your thoughts on what I can do to make it a smoother ride? What would be the lowest air pressure I could put it on stock tires and rims without compromising steering and drivability? That's going to be just an experiment on your part about how low you can actually go. On the side of a stock golf cart tire and rim, now if we're talking about 8-inch rims, see I consider 8-inch rims being stock on a golf cart and 18-inch tires being stock. That does give you a little room to play with the air pressure because of the 8-inch rim. The lower the profile of the tire, the less room you have to play with air pressure. So a stock tire and rim, 8-inch rim, 18-inch tires, on the sidewall, it's generally about, it says max pressure is about 22 psi. So start there and then go down like 5, 10 psi at a time. I'd run it all the way down to 12 psi and not worry about it if it helped. But you're going to have to just see if it does help or not. It's because it's going to be an experiment in your part. Yep. Everybody's wishing Travis some speedy recoveries. Jathan says, what would be the cause of one battery exploding? Are the other batteries in the series okay and usable? Yes. That's funny that you mentioned that, Jathan, because I had some experience this past weekend with a battery, not on me, but one of my neighbors exploded a battery in his boat. And that's very unusual. Turns out he thinks the fact that that battery exploded on him was because he had never serviced it. He had never put water in it or not. Now, as far as the rest of the batteries, as long as they didn't explode, if they're in a series circuit, then they should be fine, as long as none of the other ones exploded. Check the voltage on them and make sure they're okay. But yeah, I have heard that it's never happened to me. I've never had a battery explode, but I know that it does. I know that it does happen. I have even heard of people that on a golf cart where all 6 batteries exploded at the same time under their seat while they're sitting on the golf cart. All 6. That's a very dangerous situation. Okay. Travis says, thank you all. And William Rizzo, they changed the law in Florida. You need to be 16 years old to drive a golf cart on the roadway. Well, that's probably a good idea. I don't know how everybody feels about that, but sometimes even, I don't know, sometimes even 21 is not good enough, you know, so there's going to be lots of schools of thought on that, on how old you should be to drive a golf cart, because little kids love golf carts, and they are going to be dangerous in them. They love golf carts. Number 7, my gas golf cart will not run after about 45 minutes of riding. I have to let it sit while it starts running again. Any suggestions? I put a starter generator on it that I bought from y'all. Well, I'd have questions. After it stops, does the starter generator still turn over and it just tries to crank, but the engine won't crank? That would be my question. Or does nothing work? Because what I'm getting at is the starter generator getting hot and stopping working, or is it still trying to turn over, or still turning over and turning over the engine, and you're losing spark? Is what I'm asking. Because the more common thing would be that after something gets hot, you lose spark. It could be your coil, your ignition coil. Travis says he had one explode and the cable was loose. Yeah, I've heard a lot of, I've heard that story a lot. I know it happens. I'm just so glad it hadn't happened to me, because it sounds like a bomb when it does. Where was I at? Number 7. I'm on number 8 now. Number 8. 99 Yamaha G16 cart. It makes a grinding noise when accelerating and coasting to a stop. What could be causing this? I'm assuming we're talking about an electric cart. You just said G16, but I'm assuming we're talking about an electric cart because if it was gas, you might not be able to hear a grinding noise. So if you got a grinding noise, there's really only a couple of things that are actually where it could be coming from. You could have an axle bearing that could create a grinding noise. You could have a more common thing would be a motor bearing. Motor bearing can cause a crazy grinding sound, and it's amazing how loud of a noise that an electric motor bearing can cause. You would think that you were dragging a metal shop down there, and your car's rolling just fine, but it's making this huge noise, and all it is one motor bearing on the end of the armature. You know, so that could be it also. 𝗪𝗏𝗁𝗍𝗔𝗍 says, thank you for all your love and support for her amazing husband. Well, thank you, 𝗪𝗏𝗁𝗍𝗔𝗍, for taking care of him. I'm glad you weren't in the car with him. And like I was telling Travis earlier, I was concerned because it's been about 6 episodes or more that I haven't seen you. So I had a feeling something had happened. I didn't know what it was. And I was concerned that it was something bad, and it turns out it was. But luckily, you both are going to make it through. William Rizzo said he had a battery explode in his truck when I started it. It actually dented the hood. Yeah, it can be severe. You know, the stories I've heard, it's very severe when that happens. Okay, number 9. Hey, I'd like to know the amperage that I need on my EZGO S4 gas card with 50 to 7 amps to be accurate. What are we talking about there? Are we talking about an amp hour battery that you needed just to crank the cart? There are, if that's it on a gas cart, there are many different sizes that would work. You could have gas golf carts come with, they run batteries of group, they're sized in group sizes, like group 24 is a real common size. Group 24 is like the regular starting battery in an automobile. That's about what size it is. I've seen golf carts that run a group 24 sized all the way down to like a motorcycle battery, which would crank a golf cart. So there's many different sizes that you could use to get away with it. Of course, always use whatever your manual for your cart recommends. You could just plug in on the internet S4 gas cart battery size, and see what it says. I looked up in the manual for that cart. All it says there is that it's a sealed battery. It doesn't even tell you what size. So apparently that's not as important as the fact that you have a battery that is within a certain range. It doesn't really matter. And now this is, of course, if you're not going to be running stereos and all kinds of accessories and everything, if you start doing that, you might have to get a bigger battery than normal. But anything from a group 24 down to a motorcycle battery would probably be fine, just to crank the car and run correctly. Terry Gage, I used to have an EZGO TXT and was driving down the road, driving down cart path on my last hole with my son riding with me, and had a battery explode on my son's side of the golf cart. Was about 8 at the time. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I have heard stories where all 6 went up. He said it felt like a spanking, but was loud like a gunshot. Yep, that is what I've heard too, Terry. I've never been at the scene when it happened. I've always, but it, like I said, it happened this past weekend. I wasn't there. It happened to one of my neighbors this past weekend. Mason Grove, what's up, Mason? I hadn't seen you in a while. From Lake City on vacation in Cable. Finally got to check in. Well, thanks for checking in, man. Mason, scroll up if you didn't already, and look at what happened to Travis Lee. He's here, he's here, but he was in an accident, is why he hadn't been here. So I've actually been concerned about you too. I haven't seen you in a while. You weren't in any type of accident or anything, were you, Mason? Let's see, Jathan, funny but serious question. I bought a fixer-upper EZGO from my brother-in-law. He has brand new motor from D&D. The motor looks great, but he left it outside in the box. When I brought it home, a few roaches crawled out. I tried to get all of the roaches out, but I'm not sure I did. If I install the motor with roaches inside, will it create a problem with the motor? I don't think so. I think that they will, as soon as you hit the gas, that magnetic field that is going to be created is going to fry their brain fairly quickly. It's either going to do that, it's going to turn them into Spider-Man or something, because that's going to be a huge magnetic field that is created as soon as you hit that gas. I would hate to be that roach, let's just put it that way. Roaches love cardboard. Yeah, actually I found out. I found that scorpions do too. Mason says no. I'm a cement guy. Summer is my work time. Got to take vacations sometimes though. Oh, okay. Well, glad nothing happened. Did you see what I'm talking about Travis up there? He was in a bad accident. He's recovering. Number 10 is where we're at. The last scheduled question. I need help determining if my controller is bad. I changed the original voltmeter to an LED meter and accidentally arced it. See, anytime someone tells me that, it makes my skin crawl a little bit, because I'd love to have been there just to see how severe the arc was, because depending on how severe the arc is, you know, is where we're going to get into some serious things that could have gone wrong. I didn't do anything about it until I attempted to start the cart. I turned the key switch to turn the cart on, and the lights and the LED meter turned on. The reverse buzzer sounded, solenoid clicked, but no movement forward or back. I checked the solenoid, it's working fine. I also checked the micro switch as suggested by Tim in one of the episodes. Does this mean the controller is not working? It is very possible that the controller is not working if the solenoid's clicking and no movement. There's two things. What you know when the solenoid clicks is, what you do know for sure is that you're getting power to the controller. You know that. And if your car's not moving, then you're not getting power out of the controller. So it's very likely that it could be the controller. Let's see. Mason says, nope, drinking beer and enjoying the sun. Well, that's the way to do it, Mason. That is the way to do it. DMAX97, what's up, man? Do you personally install a lot of 𝗪𝗲𝗃 kits? Not anymore. They've changed since I was a golf cart dealer. I have done a lot more ALLTRAX than I have, because ALLTRAX has been around in the golf cart world a lot longer than 𝗪𝗲𝗃 has. But 𝗪𝗲𝗃 is their competition now, and they are very good also. I get feedback from customers on the 𝗪𝗲𝗃 kits all the time, and they rave about them. So the answer would be no. I don't have a lot of personal experience installing the 𝗪𝗲𝗃 kits. Number 10, let me put that away. All right, let me run to social media. That was the last scheduled question. There's the social media links, and we will run the coupon code in case anybody doesn't know what it is. Bam! There's the coupon code for golfcartgarage.com. If you use the coupon code, here it comes, TIM13, TIM13. You will get 5% off any parts or anything you order at golfcartgarage.com. This expires on September the 1st, 2023. You get 5% off any parts you order if you use the coupon code TIM13. After that, I took my cart to the local shop in Longview, and they said they think one of the plates came loose and touched another and shorted out. What's that shop's name in Longview there, Terry? I think I know that man. I think he and I may have had a run-in before. Let's see, Envy Nature Girl. Tim, if you need any help with your T-Mobile or internet, Travis said to give him a call. He's just sitting at home all day, healing up at home. I will. So far, it's been very self-explanatory. They even, I like the app. They give you the app that you go into, and then you can pull up placement assistance, where it's an automatic and it uses your camera and you turn and it tells you exactly where the signal's coming from, and it tells you if that's a good spot to put it, because that makes a difference. In our testing, we've found out that it makes a big difference where you place the actual Wi-Fi emitter, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the T-Mobile device. But so far, it's very simple and very easy to set up. We just got it just recently, so we're just testing it out. You know, we have a little while to test it out to see if it's going to work for us. And I'm almost 100% sure that it is going to work for a backup internet server. I may even be able to do this stream on it. I haven't tried that yet, but I may be able to. We're going to eventually test that theory also and see if that works. If it does, oh, it's a done deal. We're keeping it. If I can do the stream on it, then that's because that's as much internet as I possibly will need. Craig, what's up, Craig? Hagglers. I don't think that's one I was thinking of, Terry. I don't think that was it. It doesn't sound familiar. If you said his name, I think it would have rung a bell to me. Rob Wilson on YouTube. What's going on, Rob Wilson? Northern Ireland. Well, thank you for joining us there, Rob Wilson in Northern Ireland. Have a Yamaha G22, which just stops. I removed the carburetor and cleaned it. I noticed the float is low. The float is all plastic. How can you adjust the level? Every little small carburetor that I have seen, Rob Wilson. Oh, maybe you spelled it. It's Robert Wilson. Okay, Robert. You have to bend it. You have to bend the tab in order to get the float to do correctly. Every one I've ever seen is like that. There's not like an adjustment screw or nothing. You literally have to bend things in order to make it float higher. Craig, Travis was in a big accident. He is screwed all up, but his wife's been taking care of him. He's going to make it. He had somebody hit him at over 100 miles an hour, messed him all up. That's why they haven't been in the chat for the last few episodes. Is his name David? Now that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, Terry. That does sound familiar. There should be a metal tap on the float that you need to bend. Yeah, William, that's what I'm talking about. It's a metal tab. East Texas, David has East Texas Club Car in Longview, and I won't go there. That is making me sound like we are talking about the same person. Because, like I said, I had a little incident with him myself, and it wasn't good, and I found out what kind of person he was, and it wasn't a very good person, at least not to me, and I didn't do anything wrong. Let's see, speedy recovery to Travis. Okay, all right. He had a buddy of mine's car for over a year. Yeah, he and I had a territorial dispute, and I worked for Club Car. Okay, I worked for Club Car. All right, and I don't see how you can have a territorial dispute when you both work for the same company, but it was weird. Okay, anybody interested in some of these golf cart garage hats? Look in the description. Bang. You can go straight to them and get one. Now, we do give some away here occasionally. If you can't wait, you can always go to golfcartgarage.com and you can buy one. There's some links down in the description that'll take you straight to checkout if you wanted to get a Golf Cart Garage hat. I always like to run that graphic because I think it's a cool graphic. And I always like to run this graphic. Let's see some carts. Today's featured cart is from one of the viewers. I don't even know if he's in the room. I haven't seen him say anything in the room, but it's the only one I have loaded up in OBS. So we are going to see Eli Dean's cart. You ready for this? Bam! This is Eli Dean. He's one of the viewers. He sent me an email, sent me some pictures of his cart. I think I kind of remember him being in the chat, but if not, he's just one of the regular viewers, which is fine. I just like to get pictures of people's carts from the viewer. This is a sweet cart. It's a 2005 EZGO TXT series cart with a 𝗲𝗏𝗃 600 amp controller. Still 36 volts. We'll be going to 48 in the next year or so when I need new batteries. Love the show. Thank you, Eli. Thank you for the pictures. Thank you for submitting them. Thank you for your support of the show. When he got it back, it was in pieces. That might be the same guy there, Terry. Might be. Guess I shouldn't say too much bad about him on the internet. I better shut up. All right, well, that's Eli Dean's cart. Thank you there, Eli. That is a sweet cart. Anybody else watching, send me some pictures of your cart, and we will possibly feature it. Let me see if I can put my email in here. There. Send me pictures of your carts at 00𝗔𝗔𝗔𝗔𝗔@gmail.com. I just put it in the chat so you can get it, and you send me some pictures of your cart, and you might get your cart featured. Let's see, my executive producer says, ask Travis about best way to extend the Wi-Fi off the T-Mobile. All right. Travis, what's the best way to extend the Wi-Fi off of the T-Mobile? Is it the same way as normal? Should I use, like if I needed to, should I use like a Cat7 wire or something and do a wired connection, or is there any way to extend the Wi-Fi? Because the placement, so far we're finding it needs to be fairly close. It doesn't really seem like it has very strong Wi-Fi, is what we're finding so far. Because I can't, it's a few, that's probably 20 yards from me right here. And I'm not able to really get a real good connection that far away. But as soon as it gets close, it's perfect. I mean, so we've been thinking about doing some extensions. Just wondered if you had any advice on that. Okay, let's see, we did Eli Dean's cart, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did the socials. Remember, if you are interested in speaking with me, if you're interested in taking advantage of the Gearheads on-demand service that we offer at Golf Cart Garage, there's a link in the description, and that will take you to the scheduling page. You can schedule an appointment with me. If all my slots are booked up for weeks out, which sometimes they are, then have your question ready. Come in here to the live, and you can catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can catch me and everybody else in here on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Facebook and YouTube at 12 noon Central Time. Also remember, if you have any product suggestions for a Golf Cart Garage to sell that we don't already sell, please let us know. Either let me know in here in the comments, either send me an email. There's a link on golfcartgarage.com's homepage for support at Golf Cart Garage, and then you can send it to there, and just anything that we don't sell that you'd like to see us sell more of, or any products that we just don't have that you'd like to see us carry. We will be glad to take a look at it. You may change the way that we operate in the future, just by giving us that information. We're always trying to improve. We're always trying to figure out new trends and stay up with what everybody needs. Travis says, yes, plug it into a Cat7 cable with a cheap Wi-Fi router. Okay, well that's what we were doing before, and it was working fine. But the router that we used, it was kind of like halfway between inside and outside the placement that I needed, and I think it may have gotten wet. So yeah, we can do something else and figure that one out. Same IP, everything as the T-Mobile device. So you're saying just run a wire from it and then to a regular router, just a regular router, and then go wireless to the regular router, and that would be cool. That's what we were doing before, and I did some shows like that with my regular internet, but that little cheap router we think went out. I think it may have gotten wet. We had some storms, and the rain blew up under it. Some cheap meters with alligator clips. cheap meters. What do you mean by that, Travis? What do you mean by the alligator clip thing? Alligator clips. Meters. Check over here on Facebook. Yeah, I think that might be what we do. We're going to extend it and give it a shot out here, and repeaters for the Wi-Fi. That's what we were thinking about, Travis. Like the one that got wet, I could put it in a plastic bag and still plug it into the wall. The wall is outside, but it's under a big overhang. But we had some really big storms with lots of wind, and I think it got wet. And it's not, considered an outdoor router, but it was working fine. I did several shows. I did several episodes out here wireless, and that was with my other internet. So if I can do that same thing with this backup internet, then that would be cool. Yeah, it'll be good enough. But so far, all the testing is saying that it is definitely a good option. So thank you for telling me about that. Tell everybody to hook up a meter to the battery with the alligator clips. Put your sticker on them. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay, I believe that's going to be about it for today. I've done that. This was Tuesday, August the 8th. I will be back on Thursday, August the 10th, with another episode, and we will talk some more about any other golf cart issues that they come up with. We'll see what we can come up with. And I will continue the testing. And if I have any more questions, Travis, I'll let you know. But so far, it's a fairly simple device, and it's working pretty good. All right. I will see everybody later. Thank you all for coming. Oh, I got you. I've actually said that before. Could get a bunch of cheap voltmeters with alligator clip leads and put a sticker on it, and that would be good. I'll mention that again. I'll see if they remember that I mentioned that a long time ago. Okay, guys. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your support of the show. It does make a difference. And I will see everybody on Thursday. The garage is now closed.